What's up, everybody? It's Hardy Construction. You can find us on very many places, like Instagram and YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like and tell people about us. With yours, komp and
Lever.
Today's film, that sounded like Thea would say that shit. Today's film is
Oldboy 2003, not the remake.
Thea does that. She goes, Thea, or like ice cream. Like she does that with that voice. That
Yeah,
weird
she
voice.
does actually. She does.
Why isn't she on this episode? Why are we here? It should just be her. Anyway, Oldboy 2003. Oldboy. That's how they spell it in Koreatown. It says Olddeuboi. Boy. Something that Kevin Spacey would not like. He'd be conflicted. All right.
You got your Kevin Spacey joke in there.
Got him, yeah. After being kidnapped and imprisoned for 15 years, Dae-su is released only to find that he must find his captor in 5 days. Directed by Chan-wook Park, written by Garon Tsuchiya. It was actually a Japanese manga. So Garon Tsuchiya did the story. Nobuaki Minegishi did the comic book. So that is the manga. Let me see who else did the writing on this. Chan-wook Park.
That's cool. I didn't know it was based on a manga.
Chan-wook Park, Jun-hyung Lim, and Jo-hyung Wang worked on the screenplay for the film. So it's an adaptation of a Japanese comic book. And apparently the Japanese comic does not have the sort of crazy ending that this film has. It's just like more straight up sort of thing. And obviously it was also remade by Spike Lee with Thanos.
I heard it wasn't good.
I can guess any movie that bases itself on this is no good. But Chan-wook Park is a very, very talented
Why would
director.
you try to remake a movie like this? What's the
Because
fucking
you
point?
want the money. Who doesn't want the money? It's not very funny. So Chan-wook what? So Chan-wook Park did some great movies. He did this is the second. Sorry, the second of the Mr. Vengeance trilogy. So there was
Vengeance trilogy.
The Vengeance trilogy. I've seen all three of them. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is a fantastic film. We talked about it just very briefly in a couple of episodes, even up to the recent I Saw the Devil episode. Yep. 2 weeks ago, right? Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
It's a great movie. Depressing ending. Fantastic movie.
I'll never followed by Lady Vengeance. But it's not a horror movie.
No. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
Well, neither is Oldboy, though,
then Oldboy, and then also Lady... You know what? Here's a rule. We can talk about Korean movies. That's because I like them. They're very good. We can talk about...
Any movie that has a lot of violence, I suppose, could maybe be a horror?
Yes. Sure. I like weird movies, so this isn't necessarily a weird movie, but it's pretty weird. International film. It is pretty weird. Yes, let's sell it. Anyway, so he also did films like Lady Vengeance. I think is the weakest out of the trilogy of Vengeance trilogy. But but the thing is, I think it's because it's very straightforward. It's super. It's not as sort of twisty and turny as these two films were. Sympathy and Oldboy. But anyway, he's recently done like 2 or 3 American films. He did Stoker, which I always wanted to watch, and also he did this show. I saw the first part of the first episode. It's a 6-episode miniseries. It's called The Little Drummer Girl, and it's like some weird sort of Israeli
It's a miniseries based on a novel.
Yes, it's like an Israeli. You know what is that group of people that were Nazi hunters? What the hell?
Oh, I don't know.
It starts with an M. You know, the Jewish Israeli guys that they kind of came together after like they were fighting Nazis, and then they were like fighting the terrorists and shit. Whatever. Anyway,
yeah, I don't remember what they're called.
It's basically like an American version of CIA, a Jewish Israeli version of the CIA. But anyway, they're like kicking ass. Anyway, so
Jewish Defense League.
Not that one. No, it's another one. It's the one that all like people are scared of. They're like the super shadow army, basically.
I don't know.
Very good. I'm glad I keep up with my history. So Chan-wook Park makes Oldboy, and this is what makes him an international superstar director, even though he has done other films in the past, obviously, that were very impressive. But the reason why this was so impressive was this sort of crazy ending, and obviously we'll be spoiling that in this episode. So
it really is wonderful.
Starts out with some movie I saw a very long time ago, But then I just recited it to Danny. He was like, "Yeah, okay." It's like, I think you've got it. Because I was like, "Can I review this film? Because I haven't seen it in a while." Then I just basically
he really did know every detail.
Yeah, because I put up the wiki page.
I tested him to make sure that he would be able to do the episode, and he knew everything.
Yes, he held my testicles and I coughed. But I had the wiki in front of me, and I actually just closed my eyes and I repeated everything that I saw that I remembered from the film. And if a film is actually very impressive and is very enjoyable,
you'll remember everything.
Super well made, you will remember it. But then I also retain very useless knowledge, so although I can't remember a mathematical formula, but I will remember this film because it's great. So I pass that knowledge upon you, and hope you watch the film as well. This director also did, obviously, Thirst, a movie that we have reviewed in the past. And,
yeah, he's got like a funny humor. I like him.
Yes, he's a cool director. He knows what he's doing. He shot an entire film, or like an hour-long film, on his iPhone when it just started. So he's an interesting guy. He tries to do something different, which is cool. Anyway, so this film starts out with Dae-su, who is a drunken mess. He's like a regular salaryman guy, right? His life is going nowhere. He's sort of fat, pudgy, doesn't give a shit, really.
He's really annoying.
He has a wife and a young daughter at home. He drunkenly calls him from a phone booth. Tells him he's like gonna be out the whole night or something like that. Anyway, he ends up being kidnapped, and I think his wife is murdered, and he's set up because he's missing. He sees on the news, right, that his wife is murdered and the kid was kidnapped.
They think that it's his fault. Yeah,
they think that he did it. So he's stuck in this room, and he has no idea why he's in this room. He might have had some sort of doubts that, oh, maybe I did do it or something like that, but he just was like, what the fuck's going on? Because it's not a prison. It looks like a hotel room.
Yeah,
and,
a really not good-looking hotel room too.
Whenever he tries to escape, because there's like TV on, but is it one channel or something like that?
I mean, he's just able to get like the news and random weird shows.
Right. Whenever he tries to escape, like they give him like a certain set of food, like dumplings, right? That's all he could eat. Dumplings.
Yeah,
basically.
He gets lots of dumplings. Yeah.
Whenever he tries to escape, or actually when he tries to self-harm, this gas comes out and knocks him out. So there's a lot of repetition in the beginning of this film, just so we know that the tedious
when it
nature
first
of
it opens up with that crazy smile of his and the long hair.
Yeah,
and I was immediately like, "Oh, I'm gonna like this." Like I could tell, he looks sick, and it's so weird because he looks nothing. He's nothing like his character
in I Saw the Devil. Yeah,
yeah, nothing. It's just so hard to believe it's the same guy.
And so he just like decides that since he can't kill himself, to defy his captors, he will begin working out and trying to find a way to beat the shit out of them if he ever gets the chance to. So he starts mimicking karate moves he's seen on TV. He does strengthening techniques on himself, working out, stuff like that. Builds himself up a little bit,
work it out,
which he is put to test. He is let go one day. He doesn't know why. He's let out, and the first thing he sees is the guy jumping off the roof, killing himself.
He talks with the guy. It's funny. Yeah. He tells the guy his story, and then when the guy goes to tell him his story, which would probably make him not want to kill himself, he just walks away.
Yeah,
and then the guy
that's when
kills
he's leaving
himself.
the building. The guy, that's when he kills himself. And so
he probably was going to kill himself because no one listens to him.
Do you think maybe they threw him off? Somebody who knew?
No, he killed himself.
So anyway, so his strengthening techniques are put to the test, and he beat the shit out of those guys in the park, right? The ones that were picking out.
Yeah.
Doing his crazy fucking kung fu or whatever the fuck.
He beats up a lot of people.
Yeah, so it shows that he's not somebody to be fucked with.
Not somebody to be kidnapped again.
Yes, this time he'll karate kick you in the balls if you try it. So it all leads into this big caper. It's very much a mystery film. And what were aspects about the film that you liked?
It was just like there were so many sick little like psychotic moments in there, like just unexpectedly thrown in, like just it really got into like mental illness and shit, in my opinion, and like the breakdown of your mind. Well, It shows a guy going insane for 15 years, which was wonderful, and then it shows him like trying to cope with being back in the real world. And then this rich dude, just fucking with him the whole time, and like you don't know why. It was good. It like definitely kept you guessing the whole time.
The scene that I was talking about where he fucked up the guys, I'm talking about the one in the park, not inside the hallway of the jail.
Yeah, I know when he gets the guy's cigarettes. I know.
Yeah, because that that scene that's the one scene out of this film where people have been aping it for a long time, where they do the one take where one guy beats the shit out. And I love that scene, the way it opens when he like holds his hammer over his head over the guy.
And it shows the lines.
You see the cartoon line. That's very much, I think, like from Pulp Fiction when Uma Thurman calls John Travolta. She says she doesn't want to be a square, and then she literally draws a square on the screen, and you see like a cartoon square come out. And that's parts where it's obviously funny, and he beats the fuck. And people have been ripping that scene off ever since it came out. Most notably in the Daredevil show, like anytime there's a long, lengthy scene where it's one take of beating the shit out of people,
like going up the stairs. That one scene, remember that? He's going down a flight of stairs.
And I think when he goes into the hotel room and he beats, that's like I think the second season. I think in the first season he just beats the shit out of some people in a hallway, and like doors are falling off. So they call that the hall. That scene is called the hallway fight, or they also alternately call it the hammer scene. So a lot of films are just trying to rip it off and try to do it. And I'm sure there's always like one long take action scenes. It's just the brutality in Oldboy makes it so fucking crazy. I wonder what Spike Lee's version with Thanos is like.
I don't understand.
For me,
why.
I always thought it was strange.
It kind of angers me, the idea of trying to remake this movie.
Because Spike Lee is actually a very talented guy. Like, I haven't seen a lot of Spike Lee films.
I don't know if I've ever seen any, actually.
But there are some films where I've seen of his where, like, he has some very interesting ideas. So I had no idea why he would even... It's very weird for sort of an auteur director such as himself, like, who does really well. Like, he does his own type of film. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh,
this is like a unique film. You shouldn't remake a film like this."
Yeah, because this is like a star-turning moment for this director. So it's weird that a guy who's already established needs to sort of remake somebody. But then again, Steven Spielberg is gonna remake fucking West Side Story. So what the hell is the point of that? Like, what is he gonna do? Like, have aliens come down and take all the Puerto Ricans away?
There's just no reason. There's certain things that don't need to be remade, and I'm not like against all remakes, but. This is like a weirdo, unique movie. Why mess with it? What's the fucking
And it's
point?
very Korean. I mean, it's very, centric to this sort of... Obviously, you can make this movie in America. I guess you could. But, I mean, it's just very unique to its sort of origin. Even though it's a Japanese origin, a Korean film was made by it where they changed the ending, obviously. Even the parts where that was crazy, like when he eats the octopus. And I don't know I doubt they do that.
I saw someone do that in Iron Chef. I mean, people do that.
I don't know if they did that in the American version. I'm sure Peter would fucking like do backflips and go insane if they did.
But he was really doing it. You see him moving around and shit.
Because there's no problem in Korea. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen those footages. It's very disturbing. One where they cut a frog open and they just put it right in the fucking plate, and the frog is like half alive, and you see this woman just eating it, and I was like, Jesus Lord, that's horrifying.
To me, the idea of eating something that is alive seems
that's pretty
so
bad to me.
Freaky. But like, I don't know, it's kind of cool in a way. Like, whatever.
It's pretty heinous. So, what were there things that didn't work for you with this film?
No, I like the whole thing.
It's solid film, and that's why people enjoy it. So let's go a little bit with Oh Dae-su's character. How would you describe what his character's arc is?
Well, he started out as a real annoying asshole, which is, he kind of deserves to be put in prison, maybe not for 15 years, but he's an asshole. I get it, but then he turns into this like very thoughtful. Serious person.
He had a lot of time to reflect.
Who's just trying to like get revenge and get to the bottom of what happened. He's a good guy though.
He essentially is paired up with this younger woman. What is her name in this film? We butcher. Oh Dae-su is
from a different planet here, but yes.
Oh Dae-su is a character because I remember I had never heard a name like that before in film, even Asian film.
Well, I read that he was named after Oedipus because of the whole.
Oh yes, okay, I get it. Although it would make sense if it's more of like she was called Electra or some shit like that, because Electra's.
Wait, what? Sorry, what did you say?
It would make sense if her name was Electra, because Electra's the one that wanted to fuck her dad. Oedipus wants to fuck his mom. I mean, he cuts his eyeballs out. Which, by far, I felt like the smartest man in the world when I saw History of. You ever seen the Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 1?
Years ago.
And there's like a Roman section of the film, and what's his name? Gregory Hines is walking around because he's playing like a freed slave or something like that. And then you see this you see this blind guy with like obviously those black glasses, very much like the guy in Men in Tights, and he's like begging for change, and he's like, give to Oedipus, because his name is Oedipus, and then he's obviously faking, and then he goes, hey Josephus, to Gregory Hines, like to give him a high five.
Mel Brooks is like a national treasure.
But then Gregory Hines says, hey motherfucker. Because he fucked his mom. That's very funny.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. I don't know why I had to explain that joke, but it's just great. So, Odae-su's character obviously has a character arc where he becomes more thoughtful. But he's like...
Wait, I say it again? Sorry.
Odae-su is very much obsessed with vengeance. This is part of the Vengeance trilogy.
Yes.
And he sets his sight upon, through very probably smart...
Although he's not too much of an asshole about it, though. It's not like I saw the devil vengeance.
Well, he's still focused on one guy, and I saw the devil. Like he was, and he scored another cannibal on it. So I think he did well.
Yeah, but he wasn't like this movie's vengeance is kind of cute. This whole movie's cute and cuddly.
Okay,
it is mixed in with like psychotic shit. Like it's a very weird movie because it feels so nice and the music's all like really nice classical music, but then there's also like really sick shit happening.
Through intelligent deduction, he finds out that the dumplings that he's been eating this whole time, he knows he's eaten them basically every night for 15 years. That he knows who makes them, and then they
tries every dumpling place.
His friend helps him figure out where they get them from. He's getting the help from this other girl named Mi-do, played by Hye-jeong, and she's a very nice, quiet girl. She seems very sheltered, right?
Yeah,
and
she's a famous sushi chef. Sushi.
And obviously, we're spoiling the film, so we end up figuring, watching it knowing it in hindsight, that's his daughter throughout the film, and it's something obviously you would think. I don't know whether I caught that on the first time I saw it.
I didn't know it at all. I had no idea.
Okay, so it was a genuine like, oh shit, when you saw it at the end.
Yeah, like I watched.
Because she's barely mentioned in the film.
Like my friend came over and watched like most of the movie with me. Right before that reveal, he had to leave. So I was like, all right, I'll see it. And then, like, as soon as that happened, I texted him, like, this movie just took a fucked up turn.
Yeah. But it's great. That's why people remember it, because it has that sort of, that twist in it. And that's a lot of things. When a film is good and it's great, but then when you have a genuine plot device where people did not see it coming, that's why it becomes pretty,
So basically, this fucking guy put him in prison long enough for his daughter to grow up to be hot and, like, fall in love with him.
What was she, like 20-something or something? Like 23, 22 or something like that?
She was like a kid at the time. So, yeah, she's probably like 20-something. And, like, he put him in prison just long enough for his daughter to grow up and, like, basically be ready to fuck the father and ruin his life.
And what was the villain's motivation?
Oh, because he had sex with his sister, and
Odae-su saw it as a teenager and told people.
He only told his friend, the guy that owned the internet cafe, and he told him to keep it a secret. So really, that guy should have gone to prison.
Well, he definitely got killed, but that guy would have never known unless Odae-su said something. So the main bad guy, Woo Jin Lee, his sister commits suicide and broke his heart because of somebody else opening their mouth and saying something.
Apparently she had like a phantom pregnancy, which I didn't really know that was a thing.
Well, you go, but I mean, hasn't there been
he told the story about how she had a phantom pregnancy that she actually got like big and everything, and that's why she killed herself, because she couldn't.
What are those situations where men have pregnancies along with their women? Like
is that real?
Yeah, I've heard about that a long time ago. Where men, this reminds me of that time when I told you bug chasing, and you couldn't believe me. You thought I was full of shit. Like bug chasing. Explain what bug chasing is for people.
I don't remember.
That's when men specifically seek out people with HIV. And
you did tell me that. You did tell me that.
And I told you that. I told you that while we're eating halal food, and you had to look it up, and then the look on your face was so fucking funny.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
As you were scrolling through your phone, you were so horrified It's not, and it's not wrong that people. It's not wrong with people that have HIV. I know people that have HIV.
No, it's wrong to seek out a deadly disease.
To treat that sort of that horrible, horrible disease as like a fucking game with your life. It's very people are very.
What's wrong with people? I don't understand.
People are very self-destructive. Anyway, but no judgment here, right? How about that?
No judgment.
So just Danny's face is so fucking funny as he was trying to eat halal and got disgusted. This is a super dark film, and the main bad guy Woo Jin Lee has it's almost like a James Bond henchman. This blonde guy who looks scary as fuck, named Mr. Hye-jeong. He's played by Byeong-ok.
Oh, that's the bodyguard. This is the blonde guy.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking James Bond guy. It's very weird.
Yeah.
And he's obviously there as just muscle, so
I feel like I know the rich dude, the brother of the sister that killed herself. I feel like I know him from shit, but I can't place it, and it's bothering me.
His name is Woo Jin. Let me see, Ji-tae. He has a very smart. Oh shit. He was in The House That Jack Built. That was a great movie. What the fuck? I don't remember any Korean actors in this film. He must have been.
Ji-tae is his name.
There's a scene with a couple of guys tied up to each other while Jack trains a rifle to see if he could shoot through all their heads at one time. So
don't tell me anything.
No, that's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer.
Okay.
Without spoiling
I haven't
anything.
seen the trailer.
Okay. Anyway, so what else was he in? He was definitely in something. He was obviously. Oh, he's in Pokemon XY. Do you know him from that?
No.
Okay. I saw Nat.
He's in Split.
He was in Was he in Split?
This guy's in Split, which I never saw either.
I saw this movie. Is he the main character? Okay, so I remember seeing him. Well, I don't remember him, but he was in a film called Natural City, which is like a Korean science fiction movie, which is fun. And I think it was the first time I saw a guy vomit on cue. Like he was normal, and then he actually vomited in the film, and I was like, because you don't see him there's nothing in his mouth. Like you can see him just doing whatever. And then he actually vomited. I was impressed by that. I was like, wow, they actually had this guy vomit in a movie.
Yeah.
But and
I wish I could vomit on cue.
He was also in a very the guy from Star Trek. Haha, it's for only science people would get that joke. Science fiction people. He was also in this movie called Attack the Gas Station. That is a super classic Korean comedy film, but you would not know that. And I saw 5 seconds of it. He was also in.
He's a very good-looking man.
Yes, he has a very smug look to him, but he works it well in this film.
Yeah, he does.
They had him played by the fucking guy from what was that movie in the remake? He's played by this actor from from District 9. You never saw District 9, right?
Nah.
Wow.
I saw Session 9.
You really got to see District. No, Session 9 is of course a genius movie. But
I don't really care to see District 9.
What is your problem with it?
I don't
Believe
know.
me, you will love it. It's like a crazy Sam Raimi, not Sam Raimi, but it's a great movie. Believe me.
I know what it's about.
I know. I would not point you to a shitty science fiction movie like that. It's great. All
right.
I'm a science fiction movie like that. That's a shitty science fiction film. I'm not into science fiction film, but I know you are, and you will enjoy
science
it.
Fiction film.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Them. One of your favorite movies is a science fiction film.
What?
Fifth Element.
That's like science fantasy. It's sort of like Star Wars.
Oh, give me a break. That's science fiction.
Okay. I believe it is, but I think it's more science fantasy than science fiction.
Maybe, I guess. Whatever.
Anyway,
there's hard science fiction and there's soft science fiction.
Did I ask you if there's anything you didn't like about this film?
I said no. I like the whole thing.
Yeah, that's right. I had to ask again because I couldn't believe it. So I mean, the cinematography is beautiful. Everything about it is just
Yeah, no, it's fucking brilliant. The actors are all great. It's really well shot as expected. It seems like that's just Korean movies in general.
And there's a black humor that's throughout the whole film. Up until probably the last 15 minutes where it's super serious.
Once you find out that that's his daughter, it takes a really dark turn.
I was a little upset that the hypnotist lady was nothing happened to her. She was okay, but I guess she served the purpose to sort of hypnotize him as well. But I was still
and there's still all these people in this fucking prison.
Oh yeah, I wonder. Maybe he kicked their asses and sort of told the cops or something. You don't think so?
No.
Those guys had to go to the hospital or something. Something had to. Well, I guess
all those people worked at the prison. They weren't the prisoners. I'm saying he didn't release the prisoners.
Yeah, but I mean, if you see all these people getting fucked up coming out of the hospital, you think they would never find out?
I don't know. They're not gonna decide. Oh, there must be a prison where rich people pay. You know.
That's gotta be a good business, man.
Man, if I could think of one or two people I would put in that prison.
Oh yeah, same here. Definitely.
Not for 15 years, but like 5
lifetime?
years.
Oh, okay.
No, like 5 years.
Korean films, they give you some good ideas about vengeance upon people. Right?
They do.
So what's the morality of this film for you?
The morality of this is he kind of, in a way, deserved it. A little, maybe not to the level it was, for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, he could have done either or, the main bad guy. But But I mean, that was his sister, so somebody he loved that died over something thoughtless.
The rich guy's a fucking asshole, for sure.
Yes, for sure, yeah.
Like, he's taking it real far, but like... Actually, there's this, who plays Joe Bluth, and Tobias, those two guys. David Cross and the other guy that plays Joe Bluth in Arrested Development.
Michael something. I know who you're talking about. The guy with the seal ate his hand?
No, that's Buster. Hold on.
Oh, right. You're talking about, yes, the main actor. He's in,
Give me a second. I'm
Ozark.
looking it up. Just keep talking.
Look up Ozark.
Will Arnett.
Oh, no, that's Gob, isn't it? Oh, Job. You're saying Job, and I'm thinking of him as Gob. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Will Arnett.
Anyway, they had a show. I won't ruin it too much, but they had this show, The Increasingly Poor Decisions of Todd Margaret.
Right.
And
yes, I heard about the ending of that one. That's fucked up.
Yeah, spoiler alert, everybody. I'm gonna
you're gonna spoil it? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna spoil it. It's kind of the same idea of like this rich person, just the whole show is just this rich person getting revenge on David Cross and Will Arnett because they were mean to him once, or they were like jerks at a bar or something. It wasn't even anything serious. It was just like something stupid, like they made fun of him at a bar or something like that.
Didn't it continue with a new season, but with completely different characters or something like that?
I don't know. It wasn't that great a show, to be honest. But like,
yeah, I could have sworn that's the ending where the world blew up at the end, and his friend got killed or some shit like that.
It's really like far-fetched. Like he left food out for his cats, and that caused like a health hazard or something.
I can't discuss that show because I have no idea what the fuck happened besides the final episode.
But anyway, the point is, it's all about this rich person who basically goes through this elaborate scheme by creating a fake company and all this shit just to get revenge on this guy.
With somebody, right?
Yeah.
Right, good. If you're rich, hey,
it would be good. If I was that rich, I would have so many elaborate schemes.
You and I know our respective people that we would torture beyond belief if we were rich.
Yeah.
in inane ways. So Oldboy gives you hope to work, be rich. Don't fuck your sister, hopefully.
Yeah, don't fuck your sister. But if your sister's that hot, maybe fuck your sister.
Or maybe if you want her to shut up, she'll jump over. No, that's not funny.
That's true.
That's not funny at all. I apologize for that.
Yeah, no, that was crossing the line. That was very misogynist.
What rating would you give this film?
Well, wait. We didn't even talk about the crazy tongue-cutting scene.
Oh, okay. Is that how equal to Itchy the Killer, or what?
That one scene was great. I mean, it doesn't show it explicitly, but it's like, it got so unexpectedly crazy at that moment that I really was like, oh my god. Like, I couldn't believe it was happening.
Yeah, I think that's the second scene that's the most memorable.
And then this guy makes the actual willful decision to be hypnotized so that he could go back to having a sexual relationship with his own daughter.
I thought it was more for him not to. Maybe he put some, caveat so he doesn't see his daughter anymore ever again, or
no, that ends. She comes. That's it. Like, they're together.
Oof.
But you see him, like, happy to see her, but then also, like, his face kind of looks, like, tortured, so it's, like, his mind is in conflict.
Yeah, well, the bad
and the hypnotist says something could go wrong, like, and could make your mind,
scramble or something like that?
Yeah, and so, like, basically this guy's just, like, fucked. He's gonna have, like, the main guy. He's gonna, he's gonna have horrible, like, PTSD from being in jail for 15 years, and then he's gonna either snap mentally or not snap, but still be having a sexual relationship with his own daughter.
So the moral of the film is don't gossip. Don't tell people.
Yeah, don't gossip.
I would especially
if you see a rich family having incest. That's what happens with the Lannisters.
I wonder if
anybody that talks about that gets killed.
I guess he couldn't really give her, detailed sort of instructions. The hypnotist, like he can say, like, make me, great at mathematics, because he's like he has no tongue. So I guess
can you be hypnotized to be good at mathematics?
That's what I wonder. Like, what if you can't you can't make yourself open your brain more.
Can you hypnotize me to know kung fu?
Min-sik Choi is a Buddhist and had to pray after eating the octopus. Wow.
Oh.
Wait, who the hell's Min-sik
That
Choi?
makes me feel sad. He's a Buddhist, though, because, I mean, he plays some sick fucking characters.
Yep.
He's like a great actor.
He's not really doing it, I guess. The restaurant that Mita works in is called Mediterranean, which is the name of the restaurant in real life, but the director originally intended for it to be called Akira. Not as a reference for the popular manga, but to the Japanese director Akira Kurosawa.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
The Dreams. I saw that so long ago.
There's a lot of trivia on the IMDb, so you might want to check it out. In the flashback scene where Ode-su speaks to Lucy, Lucia is shown reading a book by Sylvia Plath, an American poet who committed suicide. So
cool.
Soo Kyu-han was considered for the role of Woo Jin, turned it out due to the movie's depiction of graphic violence. Yes, the violence here is graphic, not as bad as I would say most of the other Korean films that we've seen, but still, it's cringy.
Yeah, it's not necessarily violent. It's just a good fucking movie, and I wouldn't even say it's really horror, technically.
No, but it's
good though.
It's cult cinema, which I think Hard Deconstruction can cover without having a problem. Listen, nobody talks.
Yeah, and it touches on horror. It gets into mental fucking insanity and shit like that.
We do the podcast for us and like 2 other people, so it's fine.
That's right, and I enjoyed this movie.
I enjoyed this movie.
What was your rating now?
I'd give this movie. See, the thing that I saw The Devil like a 9, so I would have to give this one like a 9.5. Give it a 9.5 out of 10. What could you give your daughter for? For her birthday, other than a big old schlongoid. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, I'm in trouble. What rating would you give this, Danny?
I am going to give it a 9.
Excellent.
A solid 9. I think it's a great movie. Not my favorite ever movie though. And 9 out of 10.
This is great.
Removing someone's teeth one by one.
Oh yeah.
And then all they do is they just spend a whole bunch of money and have really cool grill installed into their face.
And with that, Danny, what's the final word?
Young boy.
The Horror Deconstruction.